The next way we are going to write equations is when given a table. So for example 7, we have the table of values as seen below. Now, in order to write equations from a table, we are actually going to use our calculator as our main resource. So if I pull up my calculator, I go to the Stat button, which is right under the delete key. I click on Stat, and then it has three headings: Edit, Calculate, and Test. For the first portion of this, I'm going to be under the Edit tab. And under the Edit tab, I want to select the Edit key. That brings up my table of values where I have L1, L2, L3, L4, and L5. Now for linear regression or linear relationships, we only need L1 and L2. In L1, I'm going to write the values for x. So 0, -2, -4, -6, and -8. Press my arrow to the right to get to L2, and then I'm going to write in 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. Now, once I have my table of values in, I want to make sure that each point is correct. So I should have had the point 0, 8, -2, 12, -4, 16, -6, 20, and -8, 24. Once I've verified that my numbers are correct, I go back to my Stat button. Now I want to move over under the tab that says Calculate. So I go to my Calculate. I go down to number 4, which is my linear regression. I press Enter, scroll down to Calculate, press Enter again. And this is giving me my equation in slope-intercept form, y equals ax plus b, where a equals -2 and the b equals 8. Now, the y equals ax plus b is exactly the same as y equals mx plus b. Our calculator just uses the variable a instead of m. So then, to write my equation, I'm going to simply have y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to sub in those values. So m equals -2, and my y value is going to be a +8. So that would be my equation. Y equals -2x plus 8. Now let's look at another example. Example 8. I have my table of values, x equals 8, 6, 4, and 2, y equals 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once again, we're going to pull up our calculator, go to Stat, under Edit. Now, because I've already worked out a table, I still have those values there. Now, in order to clear it, if I push my arrow to where it highlights the L1, you will see all the values that are listed under L1. From there, I can hit the clear button and enter, and it will clear those values out. Same thing with L2. Go up to the L2. When L2 is highlighted, I select clear and press enter. And that clears those values out so I can put my new values in. So I have 8, 6, 4, and 2, and then 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go back to Stat, highlight the Calculate, go down to number 4, linear regression, press Enter, down to Calculate, press Enter, Now, if you've noticed, I now have y equals ax plus b, where my a equals a negative 0.5 and my b equals 6. So my equation would be y equals negative 0.5 x plus 6. Now, we can definitely express the slope as a fraction, as a decimal. However, we will mostly see the slope written as a fraction. So I'm actually going to want to convert this to a fraction. Now, if you don't quite know what negative 0.5 is as a fraction, that is okay. Our calculator will do that work for us as well. So I pull up my calculator. I can clear this screen. I'm going to type in negative 0.5, and then I'm going to click the math key. The first option says fraction. Click that, press enter, and then press enter again. And it will convert my decimal into a fraction. So then my slope is now negative 1/2. So then y equals a negative 1/2 x plus 6. And that is my equation.